There are phrases that slip into conversations like whispers, seemingly innocent, even sweet, but beneath their surface lies a dangerous undercurrent. These words often mask manipulative intentions, emotional evasion, and a refusal to grow. When a woman overlooks these subtle red flags, she risks entanglement in relationships that drain her vitality, distort her clarity, and sever her connection to her inner strength. Carl Jung, the pioneering psychologist, spoke of the shadow, the hidden realm of our psyche where we bury traits we deny in ourselves, only to project them onto others. In relationships, this is where toxicity festers. Recognizing these verbal traps early isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about safeguarding your soul from patterns that erode your peace. Consider the phrase, "You have to accept me as I am." On the surface, it sounds like a plea for authenticity. But when used to justify harmful behavior, it becomes a weapon against growth. Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." A man who hides behind this mantra isn't embracing his true self. He's refusing to confront his shadows. Authenticity isn't stagnation. It's the courage to evolve. Relationships thrive when both partners commit to self-awareness, not when one demands unconditional tolerance for their unexamined flaws. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wrote that perfection lies in living each day with intention, free from pretense or complacency. A woman grounded in her values knows better than to row a sinking boat alone while her partner refuses to pick up an oar. Then there's the insidious claim, "All my exes were crazy." At first, it might seem like vulnerability, a man sharing past wounds. But dig deeper, and you'll find a pattern of blame shifting. Stoicism teaches that growth begins with self-reflection, not finger-pointing. If someone narrates their romantic history as a series of betrayals without acknowledging their role, they're not a victim. They're a prisoner of their own projections. Jung warned, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." A man who labels every past partner toxic is often revealing his refusal to face his own contributions to conflict. A wise woman asks, "Is it possible that every ex was truly unhinged, or is this a man who's yet to meet his own shadow?" The third phrase, "If you really loved me, you'd do what I ask," is emotional blackmail disguised as romance. It twists affection into a transactional game where compliance is currency. Jung observed that where love rules, there is no will to power. Yet this phrase drips with control. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true love cannot be coerced. It flourishes in mutual respect, not guilt. Every time you bend to this ultimatum, you surrender a fragment of your autonomy. Like water eroding stone, these demands gradually hollow out your boundaries until you're left questioning your worth. A woman of emotional discipline knows love should never feel like a negotiation. Next comes the soul-crushing declaration, "You're not enough for me." These words aren't feedback, they're a grenade lobbed at your self-worth. Jung taught that projections are mirrors. When someone insists you're inadequate, they're often confessing their own inner void. Stoicism urges us to anchor our worth in virtue, not external validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." A man who makes you plead for approval is not a partner. He's a critic auditioning for a role you never agreed to cast him in. A woman who's done the work of self-discovery doesn't shrink to fit another's narrow expectations. She knows her light cannot be measured by someone holding a broken ruler. The final phrase, "Do whatever you want," delivered with passive-aggressive frost, is perhaps the most corrosive. It's not permission, it's a test. Jung warned of the hidden ways people manipulate from their shadow, and this tactic is a masterclass in emotional guerrilla warfare. By cloaking control in faux indifference, the speaker forces you to navigate a minefield of unspoken expectations. Stoicism champions clarity. Say what you mean and mean what you say. A woman versed in emotional alchemy refuses to decode riddles. She acts with integrity, calls out ambiguity, and walks away from games that demand she abandon her peace. The journey of self-protection isn't about building walls. It's about cultivating discernment. Every relationship holds a mirror to our inner world, reflecting where we've grown and where shadows still linger. Carl Jung once wrote, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." To awaken is to recognize that the phrases we tolerate are not just about another's flaws. They reveal our own boundaries, our willingness to honor or betray ourselves. A woman rooted in her truth understands that love should never demand the silencing of her voice or the dimming of her light. Stoic philosophy teaches that our greatest power lies in distinguishing what is within our control from what is not. You cannot force a man to confront his shadows, to grow, or to communicate with integrity. But you can choose how you respond, or whether you remain at all. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This isn't mere optimism. It's a call to guard your mental and emotional landscape fiercely. When manipulative words arise, see them for what they are, not a reflection of your worth, but a confession of the speaker's unresolved struggles. Consider this. A tree does not beg the storm to be gentler. It bends where it must, stands firm where it can, and sheds what threatens its roots. Likewise, a woman grounded in self-awareness knows when to bend with compassion, when to stand in her truth, and when to release what no longer serves her growth. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming whole by integrating our light and shadow, is not a solitary journey. It requires relationships that challenge us to evolve, not ones that chain us to patterns of self-doubt. Every time you walk away from emotional manipulation, you reclaim a piece of your soul. Every boundary you set is an act of self-respect that echoes through generations, teaching others how to treat you. This isn't rigidity, it's reverence for the life you've vowed to protect. Seneca, in his letters, urged, "Let all your efforts be directed to something. Let it keep that end in view. Let your end be inner peace. Let your efforts be rooted in love. For yourself first, then for those who've earned a place in your sacred space." The dance of human connection is delicate. We ache to be seen, yet fear the vulnerability it demands. But here's the truth. A man who deserves you will never ask you to choose between his comfort and your truth. He will meet you in the arena of growth, where masks fall, shadows are named, and love becomes a verb. Jung's wisdom rings eternal. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Transformation is the hallmark of real love. Not compromise, not sacrifice, but mutual alchemy. So let these phrases be more than red flags. Let them be invitations to return to yourself. When you hear "accept me as I am," hear instead the whisper of your own unmet potential. When told "you're not enough," remember that abundance flows from within. When faced with passive aggression, choose clarity over chaos. Your emotional freedom is a masterpiece painted daily through choices. To stay or leave, to speak or silence, to fight for a love that mirrors your worth. Stoicism and Jungian psychology converge on one truth. The unexamined life is not worth living. Examine your relationships, examine your patterns. But above all, examine the stories you tell yourself about what you deserve. You are not a side character in someone else's drama. You are the author, the protagonist, and the guardian of your narrative. In the end, the question isn't, did he change? But did I stay true to myself? For as Jung profoundly noted, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. No relationship, no fleeting validation, no fear of loneliness is worth abandoning that privilege. Walk forward with the quiet confidence of a woman who knows her soul cannot be bargained with. Let your life be a testament to the truth that love, in its purest form, never asks you to shrink, only to bloom.